Smith, and today this is a special episode of Cooking with Miss Sunshine and the Family. Today we'll be cooking some delicious eggs and some delicious pancakes.
So the first thing my son is going to do is he is going to crack these eggs, and that's the challenge. Sometimes you may have to tap it one more time. That's okay. So we got one. All right, just put it in there because we're going to use every single bit of these eggs. We got another one, two. And my son, he loves cooking, and I'm so excited because I know he's going to be an excellent cook for himself. Hopefully cook for his wife, his beautiful wife one day, and bless his family with good meals. It's nothing like a husband or a man that can cook.
All right, so we got 4 eggs.
All right, so we're going to take these 4 eggs now, and what are you going to do next, son?
Then we're going to put some onions in here.
Okay.
Because I love my onions in my eggs. And then we'll whisk it.
Okay, so you want to wash your hands first since you have the egg all on your hands? Yeah, let's wash them.
Yeah, let's wash them.
So what are you doing there, son?
I'm whisking the eggs.
Okay. Why do we whisk the eggs? What are we trying to accomplish by whisking those eggs?
Well, since the eggs, they're a whole, so you want to make them like a fluid so you can cook them on the pan.
That's right. You want to definitely.
So you want to break them down.
And I think it also makes them fluffier, right?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, eggs are an excellent protein. We know that, so we definitely want to make it a part of most of our breakfasts. We do. All right,
I guess that seems good.
Now what?
Now we want to scoop the onions.
Okay. And Nashon you love a lot of onion, right, son?
Yeah. I used to but for some reason it just clicked for me. I just started loving onions. And so my mom puts a lot of onions in her salmon croquettes and her eggs, which I love all the time. Mm-hmm. So then you want to mix this up now to get it blended in with the eggs.
And I see you got some organic mozzarella cheese. You want to put that in there?
Yeah.
Okay, and how much of this do you say? Maybe like a half cup or maybe a 4th cup? What do you think?
Maybe probably a half.
Okay, half. Oh boy, these are going to be some cheesy eggs. Ooh.
Oops, we already got it.
Alright. And I know everybody cooks eggs different. Some people saute their onions and peppers prior to. I know for me, I like mixing all my ingredients ahead of time because then your vegetables don't get too overly cooked. All right, and now we're gonna add what? Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper gives it flavor.
Yes, it does. All right, so if we were to say you sprinkle some salt and some pepper, maybe a 4th teaspoon, because guess what? Everybody can season their own eggs the way they would like. Go ahead, son. Sprinkle some in there. Oh yeah, we want to see that salt and pepper prevalent. Excelente.
All right, that seems pretty good.
All right, good. All right, and pepper salt.
Not too much because you don't want your eggs too salty.
Oh no, And sometimes cheese has a salty taste, so we've got to be mindful of what we're adding to it. Okay, make sure it's mixed up really well. So we'll do our eggs first, and then we'll proceed to do our pancakes, just because it's easier for my son. And you saw all the ingredients that he used. All right, so are we ready to take it to the pan?
Yep.
All right, join us over here.
So, as you see, we are getting our pan prepared. We're putting some butter and some oil in it. The butter and the oil helps the eggs to not stick because you don't want all your eggs to stick onto the pan. Then you don't get any of your food. So you just want to you want to make sure that you spread it out good enough so all of the good flavor gets all over the eggs. Alright, so now the next part, what you want to do next is to gently pour the eggs into the pot or the pan. Yeah, it's
yummy.
good. Alright, so you want to make sure that you can get as much of it out.
Why do you use a spatula for your eggs?
Well, I use a spatula for my eggs because I think it's very easy to maneuver the eggs around. Whereas you might use something else, it might be really hard to flip them over or move them to different places. And so we're making scrambled eggs, so you kind of want to move the spatula around in the eggs so they don't just become a big egg tortilla. So you just want to keep on doing this for about 1 to 3 or 4 minutes. And you'll start to see the little pieces is cooking. The egg is cooking. And we want to make sure that you don't want this to stick onto the sides.
Those look like they're gonna be good. You may have to let it sit for a few minutes, right, Dad? Just let it sit so it can cook a little bit.
You can just kind of let it sit there just for a minute, and then start moving it again. You're gonna notice how your eggs are gonna stiffen. That's what your eggs start stiffening and consolidating, and that's when you know your eggs are gonna be getting almost done.
Yeah, and there's a couple ways to cook these eggs. You can just cook them scrambled, which is what we're doing here. You could just have a flat egg where you just let it cook there. You don't want it to burn though. Or you could just take the eggs and you could just boil them. Oh, you see it's cooking now. You see the little pieces of the eggs. It's starting to cook. And I like to put a lot of stuff in my eggs because I could just put bell peppers and a bunch of vegetables and meats inside of my eggs and I would love it because I like to have a lot of flavor in my eggs. So now we're starting to get somewhere. Look at them delicious eggs. And they turned out perfect.
Those look good, son.
Wow, okay.
Nice and fluffy. And I'm hungry too.
And here's a pro tip for cooking. You don't want to take your eggs out of the pan and put them on a plate with the same spatula because there's still raw eggs on it, which can make you sick.
You better say that, son.
You don't want salmonella. So you want to be safe while you're cooking too.
All right, guys.
Awesome job.
Now we're gonna move on to my son's pancakes so we can get this breakfast in action.
So
all right, so now we're gonna whip up some pancakes, and I'm gonna tell you the ingredients while my son shows them to you. So you're gonna have to start with 1 cup of flour. There is 2 teaspoons of baking powder in there in this bowl. And there's actually 3 tablespoons of sugar because my son likes his pancakes a little bit sweet, even if you eat them by themselves.
not sour.
That's right. And then we also have 1 cup of milk. This is actually almond milk because we don't drink regular milk in our home. And we've got baking powder. I told you that. And so now we are ready to get started. All right, so first of all, we're going to mix our flour along with the baking powder and the milk in the large bowl. All right, so he's putting that in there. He's going to get his milk.
The milk. All right. Milk.
All right, so he's going to mix that up. He's going to mix that up first.
And you also want to make sure the batter is not too thick and that it isn't too thin.
That's right. And now you're gonna add your sugar. All right. And then once that's mixed up, you're also going to add 1 egg and 1/2 stick of melted margarine.
So egg and butter.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they put margarine in this recipe instead of oil?
Well, probably
Or butter.
because it gives it a lot more flavor.
That's right. And let's not forget our vanilla. And I think, Nashon, you did 2 teaspoons of vanilla, right? Because you
Yeah.
love vanilla.
It did. The real recipe didn't even tell us to put vanilla in it,
That's
but
right.
I do love. My mom makes some pretty good vanilla pancakes, and I love them. So I put 2 tablespoons of vanilla in my pancakes. You don't have to do it, but
That looks good, son.
it'll add a little spark to it.
All right.
Right.
Very good.
So then stir in your vanilla.
Let me turn on the
And
Looks
if-
awesome.
And if you were here right now, it would smell really good.
Alright, so in the meantime, you're going to get your skillet heated because we want, always start with the hot skillet. And you guys are going to join us over here so we can.
So right now, if you want more pancakes, you will get a 1/2 cup measurement. But normally you would get a 1/4 cup. But I like my pancakes big, so you will want to just pour it. All right. And you want to make sure that the butter gets under the pancakes because it helps them cook better. All right. So.
Oh yeah, that's a nice size pancake.
You want to
Right
let
there.
that cook.
And how do you know when to turn the pancakes over?
Well, you know when to turn the pancakes over because you'll see little holes on the side and on top of the pancakes. That's when you know that it's time to flip it over because all the heat is making bubbles in it. You see, there's some circles, and the butter also helps it cook faster. So you want to have butter under the pancake. All right, so
We're just gonna let that cook for a few minutes and then we'll be ready to turn it over. And you think it's easier to do one pancake at a time, son?
yeah, because you do multiple pancakes, it's gonna be all mixed up into all the middle of it. Then it'll just be a messy concoction. So to wait to peek to see if your pancakes are ready, you wanna pick it up from the underside. It's not ready, but you wanna pick up the spatula and you wanna look under the pancake.
And one thing you can do too, adjustment, is just move your skillet over the heat, directly over the heat. If you have one pancake, you can put it right there on the heat, and that's what's going to get those bubbles. Look at those bubbles now.
And it'll make it cook faster.
So once you start seeing bubbles here, right, Nashon?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you know it could be time to flip. This is a big pancake, so you got to be careful.
Because it could just fly off everywhere.
Oh, yes.
Okay, is it ready yet or no?
It's almost ready. I would give
Almost,
another
but not
5
really.
seconds or 10 seconds and then flip it. And I think it should be ready now.
Right about right.
Yes. Try to put it in the middle of the pan if you can.
Boom.
Oh, wow.
That looks nice, doesn't it?
Nice flip.
And if you want it more fluffy, you don't have to pat it down. I don't know if you want yours more fluffy or you want it more flat.
You want it a little bit fluffy and a little bit flat.
Okay. Ooh, that
But
looks good.
it looks
That-
good when you have that. You have a little bit of dark brown and you have the light brown in the middle.
Beautiful. Now,
And
sometimes
please-
you can take your butter and tilt your skillet and allow your butter to run down towards your pancake.
Yeah. Please like and subscribe if you want more of this good, delicious content.
Absolutely. It's a family affair over here. We all like to cook.
Get my
It's almost done. Let me get you a plate, son.
Put it over your heat. Put it over your heat. You can flip it again. See, especially if you have dough here. Look here. If you have dough here, you can always flip it again too. It's not gonna hurt to flip it again back on that side if you want to. Just to. Sometimes I flip pancakes 4 or 5 times. Sometimes you can kind of.
It's still not.
Yeah, it needs to be
Cooked a little bit more. So I leave this for about 20 seconds. And then you'll flip it over to the other side again because you want this brown. You don't want it to be light brown, too light and white. You want it to be like a hazel color.
3.
So after we cooked our pancake, it looks delicious. So
all right, man.
then you want to put some butter on your pancakes. And then what I do every time, I would go ahead and get me some syrup for my pancakes.
Here it is.
Don't that look good?
All right, you guys. Well, thank you again for visiting Miss Sunshine and the fam. Sometimes it'll be myself. Sometimes it'll be my handsome son, my wonderful husband, my daughter, my mother-in-law, my mother. You never know who you're going to get. But what you will know is that you're going to get a dose of sunshine and some delicious eating in your home. All right, you guys have a blessed one. Thank you.